Great Depression. What is the Great Depression? The Great Depression was the worst economic downturn in the history of the industry world. It began after the stock market crash in October 1929, which sent Wall Street into a panic and wiped out millions of investors. What caused the Great Depression? The Great Depression started when the Roaring Twenties, as the surging economy created mass consumerism. This caused everyone to put money into stocks, and then in the 1929, the stocks were worth more than what they were put into. So you put $10 into a stock, it was worth $20, so they didn't have enough money to put them out, and then people started taking their money. They wanted their money back as the stocks kind of stopped their dropping, and the investors didn't have enough money to give them back. So that's why the Wall Street went broke and all the banks went broke. What life was like during the Great Depression. Life was super poor. There was no jobs that people could get. 16 million people were out of jobs by 1933. The drought that hit in 1933 did not help farmers. Millions of families would go homeless. And Teddy Roosevelt. During Roosevelt's first 100 days in his office, his administration passed legislation that aimed at stabilizing industries and agricultural products. It created jobs and stimulated recovery. How we got out. The Great Depression ended as World War II started. World War II gave jobs to both men and women. The men were fighting out in war, and the women were helping make supplies. This would give job opportunity to everyone. And people are looking for free food there. And there's people in line. They looked all depressed. And then this is like a famous photo of the Great Depression. And then this little kid is asking to give his dad a job so they can live. And then that's Wall Street. They're sweeping up all the newspapers. And then there's these kids in the Great Depression. And then there's a video, but we don't gotta watch it. It's 5 minutes of what I just said. And my sources.
Okay, so Cage said that the economic boom of the 1920s was the cause of the Great Depression. So what happened, so he said people put $10 into the stock market, and in a year it was worth $20, right? Mm-hmm. So then they went to the bank and said, I want to cash out my stock. It's worth $20. And the first 100 people that did that, the bank had enough money. But the next 500 people who came in and wanted to cash out theirs, they didn't have any more money left. And this happened all around the country in amounts obviously much more significant than $10 and $20. Have you ever noticed that the bank now, they have a little sign that says $100,000 insured? FDIC, $100,000 insured. So what that means is if there was ever another stock market crash, the bank guarantees that you will get at least, you will get $100,000. But what happens if you have $500,000 in your bank account?
The other portion's gone.
The other $400,000 is gone. That's why a lot of people bank in many different places. Because if they keep $100,000 in 10 different banks, their $1 million is safe. But if they keep it all in one bank, only 10% of it is safe. Make sense?
I should have enough
Wouldn't that be a good problem to have? That you had to open up 7 different bank accounts? Now, people can have like a personal account and a farm account at the same bank and have $200,000 insured, 100 in each. But that's part of the FDR's plan after the bank, after things got stabilized, was to establish some safety measures in the banking industry. And remember yesterday I told you about my grandma?
Mhm.
That's why she did that. Because families had hundreds of thousands of dollars, which actually, what was that video or statistic Cord gave yesterday? $1 billion in 1930 was worth $12 billion today. So if you have $1,000 in the bank in 1930, that's the equivalent of like $15,000 today. But people had thousands and thousands of dollars invested in their banks, trusting the banks to take care of the money, and it got too big too fast. Make sense? Okay, any questions about the rest of that? I know most of you've probably studied the Great Depression and
It's so hard to make a presentation about, because it's about making money, losing money, and being broke.
You should start the New Deal.
you can stop it.